Have you ever wondered how long you might live after 70? It's a question most of us think about at some point, but the truth is, the answer isn't written in the stars. It's in our daily habits. Science has uncovered certain signs that can predict how long you'll live, and the good news? Many of them are within your control. Whether you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, small changes can make a huge difference in your health and longevity. Now, before we dive in, let's make this a real conversation. If you're watching this, take a second to hit that like button. Not just for me, but because every time you engage, you help this community grow. And that means more people like you can find these important discussions. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. It's completely free, and I promise we're building something special here. So, let's talk about the first sign that can predict how long you'll live after 70. And it's a big one, maintaining a healthy weight. Now, I know weight is one of those topics that can feel overwhelming. We've all heard the advice a million times. Watch what you eat, exercise more. But let's be honest, losing weight and keeping it off is harder as we age. Our metabolism slows down, our activity levels shift, and let's face it, some of the foods we grew up eating bring us comfort. But here's what the research says. Carrying excess weight, especially around the midsection, is linked to a shorter lifespan. Doctors call it visceral fat, the fat around your organs, and it's the kind that can lead to diabetes, heart disease, and even certain cancers. But the good news is, you don't have to aim for the body you had at 25. A study published in the journal Obesity found that even modest weight loss, just 5 to 10% of your body weight, can significantly lower your risk of disease and add years to your life. That means if you weigh 180 pounds, losing just 9 to 18 pounds can make a real difference. And here's the key. It's not about crash diets. Extreme diets can actually be harmful, especially as we age, because they strip the body of important nutrients. Instead, small consistent changes work best. Simple swaps, like replacing sugary snacks with nuts or yogurt, can have a long-term impact. And portion control is more powerful than you think. A trick I love? Using a smaller plate. It sounds silly, but studies show we naturally eat less when we use a smaller dish. Of course, food is just one piece of the puzzle. Movement is the other. Now, don't worry. I'm not about to tell you to hit the gym and start lifting weights like a bodybuilder. But let's talk about something just as important. How active you are day to day. And that's exactly where we'll continue in part 2. Want to know why regular movement might be even more important than hitting a certain number on the scale? Stick with me, we're just getting started. So we just talked about how maintaining a healthy weight plays a major role in how long you'll live after 70. But here's something even more interesting. Being active might be even more important than the number on the scale. In fact, researchers have found that seniors who stay physically active, even if they're slightly overweight, often live longer than those who are thinner but sedentary. Now, when people hear exercise, they picture treadmills, heavy weights, or exhausting workouts. But let's be honest, most of us don't want to spend hours in a gym at this stage in life. The good news? You don't have to. Studies show that even light movement, done consistently, can add years to your life. Walking, stretching, gardening, or even dancing around your living room all count. The key isn't doing extreme workouts, it's avoiding long periods of sitting. Ever heard the phrase, sitting is the new smoking? It's true. Research has found that too much sitting can lead to higher risks of heart disease, diabetes, and even dementia. In fact, a study published in the American Journal of Epidemiology found that older adults who sat for more than 6 hours a day had a significantly higher risk of early death compared to those who sat for fewer than 3 hours. But here's the part that really stood out. Even if someone exercised for an hour a day, sitting too much still increased their risk. That's why movement throughout the day is so critical. Now, I get it. Sometimes aches and pains make moving around harder. But here's something worth knowing. Movement actually reduces pain. A study in arthritis care and research found that seniors with joint pain who engaged in light activity, even just standing up and stretching every 30 minutes, reported less stiffness and discomfort over time. So if you're someone who struggles with sore knees or back pain, movement might be the very thing that helps you feel better. And it doesn't have to be complicated. A simple way to start? Set a reminder to stand up every 30 to 60 minutes. Walk around your house, stretch your arms, or even march in place for a minute. These little bursts of movement add up. If you enjoy being outdoors, a 15-minute daily walk can do wonders for your heart, lungs, and even your mood. And for those who want something gentle but effective, chair exercises and water aerobics are amazing, especially if you have mobility concerns. Of course, being active isn't just about staying strong. It's also about fueling your body the right way. And that brings us to something just as important: what you eat. You've probably heard the phrase, "you are what you eat." But what does that actually mean for longevity? Well, science has uncovered some pretty fascinating connections between diet and lifespan, and we're about to dive into that next. So, we've talked about how movement plays a huge role in how long you live after 70. But what you put on your plate, that's just as important. You've probably heard the phrase, "you are what you eat." Well, science says that's truer than we ever realized. There's a reason why certain places in the world, like Okinawa, Japan, or Sardinia, Italy, are known for having people who live well past 100. It's not luck, it's their diet. These communities follow a balanced, nutrient-rich way of eating, and researchers have found that their habits directly contribute to longer, healthier lives. The best part? You don't need expensive superfoods or complicated meal plans to do the same. So, what does a longevity-focused diet actually look like? Well, it's built around whole, natural foods, things like fresh vegetables, fruits, whole grains, nuts, and healthy fats. And here's the interesting part. People who live the longest tend to eat mostly plant-based meals with small amounts of meat, rather than the other way around. It doesn't mean you have to become a vegetarian, but cutting back on processed foods, sugary drinks, and red meat can make a big difference. One of the biggest game changers? Fiber. Studies show that fiber-rich foods like beans, lent. Now, we all know that life changes as we get older. Maybe friends have moved away, family members are busier, or loved ones have passed. It's easy to fall into a pattern of spending more time alone. But here's what science tells us. Staying socially connected is one of the most powerful things you can do to extend your life. In fact, a study from Harvard University followed people for 80 years to find out what truly made them live longer and stay happier. The answer? Not money, not fame, not even perfect health, but strong relationships. The people who maintained close friendships, stayed involved in their communities, or simply had someone to talk to lived the longest and had the best quality of life. And the best part? It's never too late to strengthen your social circle. You don't have to be an extrovert or have a huge group of friends. Just having a few meaningful connections can make all the difference. Even small interactions like chatting with a neighbor, joining a local group, or calling an old friend can help keep your mind and body healthier for years to come. But social connection isn't just about people, it's also about your mindset. And this is where another major predictor of longevity comes in: a positive mental outlook. You've probably met people in their 70s, 80s, or even 90s who just seem full of life. What do they have in common? It's not just good genes, it's how they see the world. Studies have found that seniors with an optimistic outlook actually live longer and recover from illness faster than those who focus on the negatives. That's because stress and negativity increase inflammation in the body, while optimism boosts immune function and even lowers blood pressure. Now, let's be honest. It's not always easy to stay positive. Life throws challenges our way, and as we get older, we face losses, changes, and uncertainties. But here's the key. Practicing gratitude, staying curious, and finding purpose in everyday life can keep your mind sharp and your body strong. Whether it's through learning something new, engaging in a hobby, or even just appreciating small moments, keeping a positive perspective isn't just about feeling good. It actually helps you live longer. And of course, there's one more factor that ties everything together: good sleep quality. People often think sleep becomes less important as we age, but the truth is, it's one of the most crucial factors for longevity. Poor sleep is linked to heart disease, memory loss, and even a weakened immune system. On the other hand, getting at least 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep helps your body repair, strengthens your brain, and keeps you feeling energized. A few simple habits can improve sleep dramatically. Going to bed and waking up at the same time each day, avoiding screens before bed, and keeping your bedroom cool and dark. Even if you've had trouble sleeping in the past, small changes can make a big difference in how rested you feel. So, now that we've gone through all 7 signs that predict how long you'll live after 70, here's the most important takeaway. Your daily habits matter more than your age. Whether it's eating well, staying active, maintaining strong relationships, or keeping a positive mindset, every choice you make plays a role in how long and how well you live. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one habit you swear by for staying healthy and happy? Drop it in the comments below. Your insight might just inspire someone else. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Remember, it's never too late to build a healthier, longer life. Stay strong, stay connected, and I'll see you in the next video.